We are now on our fifth video in our first section on getting up and running with Meteor. We've got a great video today on enhancing your app with custom packages. So we're going to be going over some of the default packages that Meteor offers. We're going to be going over all of the ways to access the third-party packages that are out there. And we'll go through adding or removing packages and even doing a little bit of versioning so that if we want to look to a back package, we can do that. So the first thing we need to do is find out inside of our application, in our snippets application, what we currently have. We're going to go ahead and type Meteor list, and we see that we have three packages by default. We first have Auto Publish, okay? We have Insecure, and we have Meteor Platform. These are considered core Meteor packages. These are the ones that come when you just do a general Meteor create. Meteor supports a variety of different packages out of the box. These are packages that they have created, the core group has created, and there are several third-party libraries to look at too. We're going to now look into a way that we can find some of those, and that's through the command line. Doing a simple Meteor search, we can look by author, we can look by different types, but we're going to go ahead and look by author right now. We're going to look for Meteor hacks, okay, just as an example. You can pretty much do any kind of search that you want to, and you can find out which packages are available from which authors, or you can do searches by keyword as well. Okay. The other way that we can do searches is through a wonderful graphical interface. It's called Atmosphere. Now, atmospherejs.com is the exact same representation that we saw in the command line. So in the command line, we're able to do searches in the command line using the CLI version, and Atmosphere.js is the graphical version of that same thing. So as we're typing here, it'll pull up the different various packages that are available. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at that and do something useful with this. So we need to find a particular package for Bootstrap. We want to skin our application to make it look pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and do a search for Bootstrap. There's quite a few that are in there, but this one right here, twbs.bootstrap, is the official Bootstrap implementation or package. So Atmosphere gives us a whole lot more than just the name of the package. You can see in here a table of contents, there's a README, there's a history, there's even the ability to go directly to the GitHub source code and to report bugs from this area. So we're just going to go ahead and copy this over. We need to add this particular Bootstrap. So we're coming into the command line now, and we're going to go ahead and copy and paste that in there. Meteor add twbs : bootstrap. Go ahead and hit run, and this is going to install really quickly, and we'll see that it's officially installed. So we have Bootstrap. Hey, look, it made such a huge difference in what we were doing before, but it'll actually get a little bit better in just a minute here. Okay, now we need to look into some default Meteor packages, and these are the Accounts UI packages. We want to be able to have a login for our screen, so we're going to add the default Accounts UI package. This will actually install Accounts Base and some other things with it. We also want to add the Accounts password. Now, there are multiple different accounts applications or packages that we could use. This one is the simplest. It just requires a user ID and a password. We're going to go ahead and install that one by doing Meteor add accounts password, and that gave us our password support. So let's go ahead and see this in use now. We're going to add a template directive for login buttons directly to here, and this is part of the package that we just added it in. And without doing anything else but saving that change, we're able to have a full-fledged email, user ID, and password creation inside of our application. All right, so we want that login that we have to take advantage of Bootstrap. And luckily enough, Ian out there in the wild has created an Accounts UI Bootstrap specifically for Bootstrap 3. This is wonderful news because it means that we don't have to do any of the styling or coding on our own. So all we need to do now is just go ahead and add that package in. We're going to copy and paste what we found on Atmosphere for Meteor add Ian : Accounts UI Bootstrap 3. It's going to download those packages for us. It's going to get any dependencies that there may have been in there, and lo and behold, it's installed as well. So we have gone over default Meteor packages. We've seen some third-party packages, and now we're going to go into a little bit of adding, removing, and versioning. Okay, so we have a conflict right now. We have created, or we've added the Accounts UI package, and we've also added the Accounts UI 3 for Bootstrap package. They conflict with each other. So we're going to go ahead and remove the default Accounts UI one now. We're going to type in Meteor, remove Accounts UI, and just like that, it's removed. And we are now going to remove Just because we're going to need it later on, we're going to also remove auto publish. We're going to be doing that for later videos, so we're going to remove those too. So that's all there is to removing it. Removing it's just as simple as adding it. And you can see here that it's now skinned according to the Bootstrap way of doing things. We want to put it into a toolbar, so we're going back to the how to use section that Ian provided for us. We're going to copy that code over, and we're actually going to put it into our body. We're going to make a couple of changes on the navbar brand. We're going to change that to snippets. Okay. And we really don't need the link that's in there right now. We can add links later on if we want to. We just want the cool toolbar. So we're going to cut that out and take out a little bit of the comments there. And you'll notice that the login buttons is still right there towards the end. So that template directive is still there. We're going to save these changes inside of here. Once we just format things a little bit easier, make it a little bit easier to read. We're going to go ahead and save those changes. And now, lo and behold, look at that. We've got our snippets toolbar. We have a sign up and sign in over to the right, and we are able to sign up and sign in and create accounts. And it all looks consistent with the Bootstrap theme. So just like that, we added a couple of packages. We used some code that was in the samples, and we're off and running. There is one more layout package that we're interested in, and that's a masonry package. So we're going to go ahead and type in masonry here, and we're looking for the Voodoo Hop Masonrify. Okay, this is a masonry style layout, and it's specifically built around the Blaze UI or the Meteor UI. All right, let's copy and paste that and go ahead and install that in the command line. And it'll take just a minute to update, and there we go. We've got our easy masonry style layouts for Masonrify inside of our application. Now let's make one final list here. Let's look at Meteor list, and we should have, we look inside of there. Yep, we've got our Accounts UI Bootstrap. We've got TWB Bootstrap, the official Bootstrap, and we've got Voodoo Hop. So that's absolutely perfect. We do want to hit one last thing, and that has to do with versioning. Now, if you want an earlier version of something, all you need to do is when you do the add, put the version number in with an @equals. So we're going to try this with Masonrify. We're going to go @equals 0.0.2. Okay, we're going to go ahead and install this, and it will download that specific version. So we do have that rollback version of it. And if we now take a look at the list, it will tell us, yes, you do have Voodoo Hop Masonrify, but there's an asterisk next to it. That's telling us that there are newer versions available. We knew what we were doing when we added this in. It's just for example, so we're going to go ahead and remove that. And oops, looks like we don't need the @ symbol when we remove it. So we'll go ahead and remove it that way, and we'll add it back in with the latest and greatest inside of there. We really want to do that to make sure that we do have the latest and greatest in case there are any bug fixes inside of there, and we're good to go. All right, so we'll do a final list now to make sure everything's good. We do have accounts password. We've got Ian, Accounts UI Bootstrap 3. We've got Insecure, Meteor Platform. Those are the default ones. We've got Twitter Bootstrap, and we've got Voodoo Hop Masonrify. That's everything that we need inside of our application. Okay, one last thing. Let's go ahead and take out the styles directive. We don't need sans serif anymore because we're using Bootstrap, and it's all about sans serif. Make sure everything looks good. Bootstrap really does clean things up for us. Okay, so we installed some default Meteor packages. We installed some third-party packages, and we also removed a couple of packages, went over the versioning that's available inside of there. So kind of a whirlwind tour, but I think you get the idea. Our next section is creating collections and adding content. We're really going to get going. Super excited. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you then.